Okay. John.
Josh, Jeff asked you a series of very direct questions, and I didn't hear a direct answer. So, can you just help me?
I'll try again.
Please help me with a yes or no.
I'll try.
Does the president intend to ask Congress for authorization to expand his campaign against ISIL?
Well, I think
just a yes or no.
the president was asked this direct question, and he
didn't give a direct answer either. So I'm asking you to give me seriously a yes or no. Because I don't know what buy-in. I covered Congress for years. I don't know what you mean by saying you want a congressional buy-in. Buy-in, it seems to me, would imply a vote of some kind, either a vote on appropriations or a vote on an authorization or a sense of the Congress resolution, but some kind of a vote. Is that what you want from Congress, a vote on this, yes or no?
Well, again, if you want to get some insight into the president's current thinking about this, then I would refer you to the answer that he gave to Chuck in the interview 48 hours ago. But the other thing that I would point out that's also part of your question is if the president decides to expand the operation. And these are the kinds of questions that are best answered after the president has made some fundamental decisions about what he wants to do there. That if there is an expansion in the operation that takes place, what consequences are there for a whole range of things? For our diplomatic relationships, what kind of assistance are we going to seek from our partners? What kind of assistance would we seek from regional governments in terms of the role that they could play here? And what role does Congress have? So it's hard to, unless we're talking about a very specific order from the president, it's hard to talk in very specific terms about what we want Congress to do. But as a general matter, what I can say is that the president is interested in their buy-in, is interested in a congressional debate, and is interested in consulting closely with the leaders in Congress so that they feel bought into this process and they feel like the partners that they actually are as the elected representatives of the American people.
Because we remember that the president did make a decision on airstrikes on Syria under very different circumstances, but previously, and his decision at that point was that he needed congressional authorization, or that he wanted congressional authorization. If he were to go in that direction again and decide that some kind of an extended air campaign against ISIL targets in Syria were necessary, is it safe to assume he would have the same view, that he would want congressional authorization?
Well, the situation from last year is a little bit different than the situation this year. That the situation from last year was related specifically to this issue of chemical weapons being used by the Assad regime against the Syrian people. The situation right now is related directly to the protection of American citizens in the region. The president does believe that he has all of the authority necessary as the Commander-in-Chief of the United States to order the kind of military action that's necessary to protect American citizens.
Including strikes in Syria.
But again, if there is an expansion, of the president's military orders, or if there is an expansion of the scope of operations that the president's willing to consider, at the point that the president's made that decision, we can start making decisions about what sort of congressional role or authorization is required, if any.
Give me a sense on the timeline